So, so let me point this out to you. Why does the Espanol version mention English translation issues? Isn't that something you want to put in like your English translation? Okay, hold up. I'm going to pull out my translation device. And we're gonna see if anything here is relevant. I don't think this is gonna be. Note, the Spanish fic doesn't undergo as many revisions as its English counterpart. The woman made spelling mistakes, but if you were without accents, I would encourage you to point out these series or the comments can correct them. Again, kind of a weird mark for like this. I don't know. Was this originally Espanol or not? Anyway, Chapter 2 has a translator's note in the Espanol version. Translating it to English with Google Translator from the website, I realized that the translation is horrible. I repeat words like estaba. What is estaba? And why would you repeat it a lot? Was. I was. Which can also be used when speaking to oneself or another person. Él estaba, he was. Yo estaba, I was. But I just cut the word yo I and translated it was silent. And when it should be I was silent. Estaban es silencio. Yeah, that's kind of a fucking problem when your language has the default of just throwing pronouns out the window. So sorry, non-Spanish speakers about this. I have enough time to translate it to English. I don't know what to tell you, man. This is why I waggle my finger at the Chinese. All their third-person pronouns are the same. Chapter 3 is apparently still... Oh, man. No, that's 11 October. Is it? 6 días el incidente. Really? Oh, yeah, it is 5th, so we'll see about that. Alright, now I'm ready to go. But yeah, apparently, there are some weird, goofy-ass translation things. Is that why this one is under maintenance? Can I remember those little notes? Yeah, like current under maintenance to improve translation. So, as far as we know, we might not, in fact, be dealing with the real version. When we're dealing with a lie. Can I remember those little notes? This is the lie version. The fake one. What is the latency is a bit high. Alright, whatever. Alright! I'm gonna not be immediate goofball about this. Let's give it a fair chance. Maybe the first chapter was just a little wonky. A lot of these tend to find their footing in the second chapter. So, waggle my finger, it might be fine. I wish I was dreaming. I wish I could wake up in his lap, cry, and hug him until I squeezed him tight. What? Why do you have to hug him until you're squeezing him tight? That's not how that works. That's not a logical through line. Apologizing for everything I had ever done wrong. But if this was a dream, then it was the longest dream I've ever endured. Man, Morpheus, you're really cranking it out today. The last few days have been hard. Truly hard, but compared to this... What do you mean the last few days? It's the next day. Why are you... This man suffered a tragic accident, and you're like, oh, the last 2 days have been hard. But compared to... It's just... I feel like you should say something like the last few months, you know? Because the last few days implies that your relationship was honky fucking dory until like 48 hours ago. Which is not how this has been going. I was crying, but after hours of doing so, I would inevitably fall asleep. Man, Inko, I'm sick and tired of worrying about you. Dreaming of being with him. Of a world where nothing can happen. Isn't like half the point of ending 2 that Olivia's taking him for granted? And like... But the injury made her aware of it. I don't feel like that's how that would work for someone who's as deep in the hole as she is. That's half the point of her character. Is that she is uncontrolled. No argument that shattered our peace, and we just go out and walk like we used to. It's implied that ending 2 is like you never actually had all that much peace. However, reality would cruelly jolt me awake, forcing me to confront the harsh truth. Our reality was breaking down. So reality is jolting you awake because it's breaking down. I feel like you could reframe that to make it work better. I found myself blaming him over and over again, convincing him it's all my fault, but admittedly it was. That's the whole reason we've got ending 2, is because it's his fault. Inko sucks. Inko, why didn't you get any Inko points? Inko would have killed you to have some character progression. I began to feel the heat of the hot chocolate. It was slowly turning unbearable. I thought the whole point of dinosaurs is that they are, like, practically fireproof. Well, Randy gently shook me from my grasp in front of me. Olivia. God dang it, Olivia. That's the 5th cup of coffee. This isn't chocolate. Why do you keep calling it that? Randy said in a whisper. Randy's not the kind of person to whisper. He might be soft-spoken, but he won't whisper. God dang it, Bobby. I'm not like a whisper's like this, but being soft-spoken's more quiet-like, you know? As Edward Sars looked at me, his eyes brimming with an enormous sadness. I think something is brimming implies enormity. I kind of want to pull out the Espanol version to see how much I can actually understand of it. Fuck it, let's do it. Let us amuse ourselves. We're not even that far in anyway. Also, the Espanol version has that problem I often talk about, where it's like, it has the double lines. Maybe it does work better in Spanish, and like the translation is just problematic as a result, which admittedly fair, especially if you write flowery. Flowery writing tends to be one of the first victims of you know, machine translation. He appreciated Inko even amidst the chaos. I mean, Randy, to an extent, feels like the kind of guy who's similar. You know, Randy is why Damien is. Is the thing a lot of people forget, is that Randy and Damien are kind of on the same level of, let's not worry about it right now. Life hadn't unfolded the way we hoped. You're 21! I can't believe it, Inko. I'm not even done with college and my life's already dead. I can achieve nothing more. People are dead when they're 21, Inko. 21 is the new 40. I can't follow any more memes, Inko. What's life worth living for if I can't meme? Refuse more than anything. I just wish this was a dream. Yeah, you started off with that. I hadn't slept at all. What do you mean you haven't slept at all? You just talked about how you kept falling asleep because of how much crying you did. And then you dream. And then you wish you were dreaming. This is... Like, I can't imagine that this, even in Spanish this makes sense, because it feels like you're just trying to have two completely separate arguments. Is Olivia sleepless and incapable of getting any rest? Or is she lost in her own fantasy? It's one of the two. You know, it's because I'm so cool that I can have two different dreams at the same time. Damien had come out of his room yet. He didn't have the strength to help himself. I mean, he kept praying to God, but God kept telling him, I'll help you when you can already help yourself, buddy. I'm very optimistic. So how could he possibly be there for me? It made me sad to see the once energetic... Don't ever say that. Don't ever fucking write your character saying, man, I'm so upset about this. Can you at least give her some incredulity instead? Like, I can't believe Damien, once so energetic and optimistic, is now collapses to despair. Because then we can imply, she's the one talking. Let her words do the talking. Not like that. Liz stopped by to see him once, but she left shortly afterwards, killing a few words with the pains. I would love it if Liz is like, man, I hate these fuckers. Goddamn. Damien, turns out you suck ass. You're a terrible husband. I'm out. Liz deserves better. Just kiss already. My ideal is the same. To stay every day of my life doing nothing, and I guess the law knocks at the door eventually. I was outside talking to a man. I was listening to the conversation, or did I care? Just lost my swirling thoughts, consumed with the uncertainty. Know how he was doing. Or the police officer's footsteps echo through the door, their presence commanding attention as they spoke to Randy. You must read a opinion. My name is Eric Marquez. And my partner... Oh my god. I love how Eric Marquez, you know, that's a somewhat normal ass name. His friend, Brandon Scott. How are you doing? I am Brandon Scott, known American. Well, how I like to call myself good old-fashioned Brandon Scott, like a good old American name, as God gave me. We're for folk out there at Bluffs Police Department. We're here to ask a few questions. We're actually not going to ask you any questions, since Randy, you didn't see shit. Like, you're not even relevant to this conversation. Also, she's like 20 years old. Olivia should be able to handle this conversation on their own. My gaze lifted slowly from the two officers, their uniforms stark against the dim light of the room. One, speaking was human, though this one had a head full of hair sitting apart from the rest. I like the implication that, like, humans are generally speaking bald. Brandon Skull said, listen. I'm pulling it up. We're pulling it the fuck up, okay? Sleeve McDykel. Bobson Dugnut. Oh no. How could I forget? Todd Gonzalez. Love Todd Gonzalez. God damn it. Scott Dorkey. Willie Dustus. Raul Chamberlain. Mixon. I can't believe it's all Mixon's fault. Oh, fuck. And my partner, Steve McDykel. Once speaking with human, he had a head full of hair. Most humans are bald. The other officer remained silent, his hand resting on his belt. He was ready to just fucking gun me down as he surveyed the room with a keen eye. While his partners took a seat with further requests, he was a dino! Like us! Jesus fucking Christ, can you sound any more racist? He was one of my people, so he should bail me out of a bind. I like how... there can only be one human at a time in this house. The Payne's residence can only accommodate one human at a time, sorry. Oren, been wearing a perpetually bad-tempered expression. He's got resting bitch face, just say it. Clearing his throat to capture my attention, the human policeman made a gesture towards me. And you must be wait. And you must be Olivia. Well, no, I gotta make it sound as American as possible. And you must be Olivia. No, that's not it. And welcome. You must be Olivia. Yeah. Halford. Olivia Halford, how are you? His tone was neutral, but I could sense the underlying tension. He was ready to gun me the fuck down like a common thug. The dino was just the same, because he's like, man, I'm a cop now, so unfortunately I've become racist. That's how the system works. The bad apples spoil the bunch, as they say. What the hell are you talking about? I'm the only human on the team. You can't win with these humans, man. They're all racist. I've been on this team for like a month. Well, my gaze remained indifferent. I avoided his eyes. I appeared my defenses with an unwavering stare. How could you know he has an unwavering stare if you're not looking at his eyes? I just want to know. Like, shit. Turns out having my husband die in front of me kind of tempers the mood a little. My voice barely above a whisper. Fuck off! I hate that line! God damn. It's not as supposed to look at of my pain. I shouted and static at the weight we both carried. Anyway, you killed your husband. We need to talk about it. He turned his gaze to my fingers was covered about his straps. I like how up until this point we're not 100% sure if Inko's alive or what his condition is, so hey, we kind of get to play with some ambiguity. A better writer would really extrapolate that, but hey, this guy, glad if he manages to write a decent sentence. Miss Halvard, how are you physically? According to the wizard, you almost fell down the stairs with your, With your echem? You mean the Besham? Oh yeah, baby, it's time for Omicron! I mean, it's possible that her claws got, like, stuck on the skin and you know. Stowe was clinical detached. I grabbed his pencil, poised to take notes the moment I started speaking. What had happened? I chased after him. I didn't fall, but I scraped my legs against the stairs and that slippery slope. I don't know why they made it out of razor blades, but hey. My hands had become ensnared in the tether lenses. It's not really, like... What the fuck did you do to this man's glasses that your nails are fucked up? You have claws! They were for the most part responsible for my current state. So, Inko's glasses. Like, I would like to point out... Okay, hold up. In writing, this is what we like to call metaphor, or motif, or whatever the fuck you want to talk about this day of the week. You are describing character relations through the actions of objects. Her cutting herself on Inko's glasses. His glasses are an accessibility aid, right? If it was his camera glass lens, then it's sort of like she cannot touch his hobby. She's ruining it for him. She is poison to it, and it is poison to her. They don't respect each other. But his glasses is weird because he apparently just walked around without them and doesn't seem to need them, despite them being prescription glasses. Like, they are an accessibility aid in both prescription strength and the capacity to see in bright environments. Like, they allow him to tolerate an overwhelming world that he does not align with. He's out of focus, right? So being unable to touch it implies that she can't connect to his worldview. But, like, fair. But are you aware of that? And why her nails? Wouldn't it be better if she cut her hands? Like, she's an artist. She uses her hands to draw. Wouldn't it make more sense if this effort, like this, after everything is broken down, she tries to grab the lenses and it cuts her hands? Like, at this moment when she's actually trying, it's too late and all she's doing is making things worse. I don't know. I feel like if you want to be clever, you could do something with that. And then some smarmy asshole can later analyze it and go, oh, it's so smart! It makes me poop my pants. No. Seriously, how the fuck did you mess up your nails? Why is everyone in this universe incapable of holding onto glass? You can pick up glass without cutting yourself. It's not hard. I had such simply irritation bubbling beneath the surface. I continued to jot notes. Why are you so angry? He's just trying to make sure that you're not injured. I inflicted injury myself last night. I broke my nails by hitting them. What? Oh, now we're dealing with self-harm? Yeah, we're escalating. There's a little I can do to stop it. I like how we're over-describing everything. Just fucking move on with the scene, man. Will I go to jail? Why do you say that? Spoke aloud that second. Because every fucking goddamn asshole who writes for Snoot Game or Wani just can't help themselves. And everyone says shit out loud. Like, Olivia does not have this at all. Inko doesn't either. There's a reason they did it with Anon extensively and then just kind of got rid of it. Like, the point with Anon is partially that it is supposed to be a reflection of the fact that he's being a little fucking weirdo. That he's commenting on everything in his life and being all judgmental about it. But he's also voicing it. Like an internet person who thinks he's like, I'm so subtle, no one on the internet can hear me talk. But it's like, yeah, you're just one mistake away from everyone realizing what you've said about them in private. That's the joke! But they wrote anything down. I like how he understood your unspoken fear, which, by the way, you just admitted to speaking out loud, which he heard and responded to. It's not an unspoken fear. Miss Halford, I don't want to push you too hard. We just want to put you in jail for the rest of your life. Without any proof that this happened. And I think was you being the cause of all this. I mean, admittedly, shouldn't Damien already have admitted to the fact that he cut her open? Also, it's the next day. You're really on top of this, huh? Shouldn't they have shown up earlier, though? Shouldn't they have taken statements that evening? Why did they wait a whole day? Also, can I just point something out? It's 6th of October. It's the next day. Where is it? The last few days have been hard. Okay, that's separate. Seffi, wrong statement. Stay every day of my life, but I guess the law knocks on the door eventually. So, this gives off the impression to the reader that she's been here a while just waiting. It's not even been a day. What time is it? It's the question forever on our minds. Anyway, will she go to jail? I hope she does. And we can get None in the Chamber reloaded, reprimed, recalibrated. I would wish too hard, but it was. Everything points to you being the cause of all this. I mean, yeah. Like, every witness can attest to the fact that you cut up your husband. And also, like, kind of agitated things by being all subversive and coy and kind of loud. I'm pretty sure that anyone at the gallery would be like, yeah, she's that loud bitch who just screams about everything. I don't think she has a good public reputation. Also, why are you calling him Incognito? If you're addressing someone as an officer, you'd either use his full name, or you would just say Incognito. Why does he use the abbreviated middle name? Also, it'd be super fucking funny if it is just G, as in G-E-E. Just ignore it. One of them deleted time with their stand, King Crimson. I can't believe Olivia spent 12 months in her own home, and it's only tomorrow. As far as I say, it's domestic violence. Olivia, have you beaten up Ingo before? You have to tell me, I'm a cop. He wouldn't hurt it. He wouldn't hurt it anyway. He's a good soul. I mean, I beat him up a couple of times, but, you know, women can't abuse their spouses, I've been told. Hold up. I got a bonk of bingus McDingus. I do appreciate that. It's immediately like, hey, has your husband hit you? Even though she's the one who fucked him up. Wouldn't it make way more sense if, like, you just asked, have there been other like, shouldn't he be like, have there been other instances of domestic violence? Instead of immediately framing Inko as, like, the perpetrator? Buzzman heater. Yes. That is the good ending. It's the Buzzman heater. But, I really do like, because this is the kind of shit that people talk about. It's subtle, but it's there. But you attacked him. Why happened? Well, it's because I used my claws to rake across his face. Listen, I understand how violence works, but why did you hurt him? Well, I mean, he's bleeding, so that probably hurts. I'm not asking about how violence works. I'm asking you why. One more thing. I gulped and let out a thoughtful gasp as I clenched my teeth tightly, looking down my already hot cold cup of chocolate. Jesus Christ, you're just siphoning heat. Yeah, I attacked him while sticking. I just wanted him to shut up. And you attacked him with your claws. You know, can I put my little beans down? Good beans. It's a good beans moment. This is a mirror of ending 1. In ending 1, let me try to rephrase this. It's an interesting parallel. I don't think the author is necessarily aware of it, but fuck it. Points if they are. In ending 1, Inko tries to hug Olivia, and Olivia pushes herself away and gets blown down the stairs. But here, Olivia attacks Inko and is kind of the reason he falls backwards and falls. It's an interesting parallel. In both cases, someone goes down the stairs, and in both cases, Olivia is kind of the person putting the energy in for the fall to happen, shall we say. In one, it's a gesture of kindness, even if it's by a cold sociopathic asshole, and in the other, it's openly hostile. It's interesting. This is the kind of stuff that your English teacher is going to give you points for in your essay. Attack him with your claws. I remembered every dialogue, every insult, every Miss Halford. No, there's only one of me. My mom's dead. Why do you think he'll get scarred all over? Bald Geralt. Yeah, baby. Get pumped, idiot. And then he fell. According to his thought, the stairs were in a bad state. I mean, attacked what's called the fall of backwards downstairs. You mean the fact that this man bled like... You don't know that you can miss like 2 liters of blood, half a gallon, before it starts being like, oh, you're probably dead. Right? This man has been spraying blood all the way down the stairs. How did this happen? Where did the blood come from, Olivia? Why was he carrying your squib collection? I tried to catch him. Everything was happening too fast. Like Inko, I was cringing at how cringy he was being. I regretted it as soon as I threw the punch. It's not really a punch if you claw a man's face open. And in a second, he was already falling down the stairs. Oh, God. Have you ever attacked Miss Anita? I mean, yeah. That, like, you mean an other instance. Has there been other instances of physical assault? Actually, technically, it's battery. I think assault is just the threat of violence. And battery is when you actually beat a man up. Now, is he dead? How? I mean, it's been like a day. It's worth pointing out, this is like the next morning, so I guess they wouldn't really know. The policeman remains silent, taking notes. He's already like, yeah, she's one of them, you know, T words. Sorry, I'm a human, I can't say it. But you're one of those, so we're gonna put you in jail regardless. Why? Well, it's just funny. Makes for good headlines. Are you sure that Mr. Neal is not a... Are you sure that this was a one-sided confrontation? Listen, the judge won't believe it if it's a one-sided confrontation from the woman. I'm sorry, the only judge in the area is like a real sexist bastard, and he's just gonna say it's Inko anyways. You might as well just make it happen. He did the Baki, started cardling spring blood everywhere like a Tarantino movie. Fucking hell. I'm sure. We've been arguing a lot lately, but it's never come to blows. Also, have you seen Inko? Do you think he could land a punch on anyone? The cop looked me straight in the eye. You know, the reason they call ending one Inko Oneko is because he's got one eye. Got me staring in the eyes, brown irises locking on the mind as if searching for the truth. Got myself staring right back. Intensity of his gaze said I get chilled down my spine. He cleared his throat to glance at his partner. Crosser got a full eye in his notepad. Fuck! This would be so much easier if we could pin it on the dead guy. Why such insistence? Oh, I remember why. It's not because of sexism. It's because he attacked Oliver. I completely forgot. He attacked that character that didn't exist until now. Why couldn't he just attack Damien? And Damien is like, I've had enough. I'm going to make this personal. Like, I feel like you could do this so much better by having someone... Have Ben show up. Like, you could have Ben show up. That, one, shows how desperate Olivia is, and B, it's like, you know, Ben wouldn't be this nice about it, because Ben's probably already sick and tired of Inko. I feel like there's better ways to handle this. Maybe you could have it be Randy, and Randy's sick and tired of it. Like, you're allowed to do that. To kind of, you're already making things sound kind of E1-ish in terms of, like, everything sucks ass, but hey. Well, at least Anon's parents aren't dead in this universe, so that's okay. The policeman fell silent. We see your medical history. You've been taking beta blockers. What's the cause of the stress? I don't know what beta blockers are, actually. I've heard of them, but... One moment. I need to know. Receptor side of the... Jesus Christ. My man. I don't know what that means. Beta androgenic receptor antagonists. They're the bad guys? Manage abnormal heart rhythms and protect the heart from a second heart attack after first or secondary prevention. They've also widely used to treat high blood pressure, though they're no longer first choice for some people. And like the treatment of anxiety. So she might be stressed, I guess. Stress, the job. I like how you just admitted to having arguments with your husband, but you're like, no, we're just a job. You're fooling no one, man. I wanted to ask if he was okay. How would this cop know? Why would he know? He's probably here because he's been sent out, like, in the morning as, like, a first-thing investigation. And it's like they don't even know that about Inko yet. Yeah, I guess they wouldn't know, right? They're really, like... Inko's parents are probably difficult to get to, and the paintings aren't exactly known like that, so yeah, they probably couldn't get access to him. Oh, and as a kid, what his condition was, if he was conscious. Damien told me that he woke up in the ambulance for a few... I like how Damien's in the ambulance with him. To anything beyond that, I felt pitiful, guilty. I like how... So Damien went with the ambulance, delivered him, and then came back and locked himself in his room? He didn't stay with him? I was only in this situation, not him. No, Olivia, that's ending 1. That's the wrong ending. The way they get done of it for me over the years, man, I suck. Olivia. Randy waved me back to reality. I like how the cop is like, hey, Randy, can you solve this problem for me? That was the night right before the fall. There was a fight before the fall. Who was involved in what happened? Yeah, it was a fight. Inko hit a friend. Oliver. Yeah, Oliver. Inko hit him. But also my brother, although he didn't care. Oliver O'Donnell. Fucking Wolf O'Donnell? I don't want Star Wolf in here. Actually, I do. Let's bring him in. His testimony says that there were repeated blows caused fracture to the skull. It was until you intervened that the assault stopped. I still pair this out of There was a blow that knocked him to the ground. Was it? Inko was just going absolute ham on this man. He was going, standing here, and just hammering on that head. Whew.